Good morning and welcome to our seminar this morning. So once again, we open into the awareness of awareness. And we enter in to that field of awareness. Can you turn it up just a bit? Thanks. So as we extend, we open that space of the awareness in the body. We extend it up from the base of the spine to the top of the head, and from the top of the head into the lower body. And we extend it to the field around us. So to the person to the right of us, across the room, to the left of us, we extend into the space around us. And sensing the energy of the space, we pull it into the top of the head, down through the forehead, through the face, through the throat, down into the heart, down into the belly, into the lower body. And we extend to also the people on the Zoom this morning as they extend here. And so we sense the energy from the back of the head into the forehead, feeling the power of it this morning. The back of the head into the eyes, the back of the head into the mouth, the back of the head into the throat, the back of the head into the heart, the back of the head into the belly, and the back of the head into the lower body. And then opening right now in the heart. Just a bit more. So first we hold the field, then we rest in it, and then we become it. We open into the light. And as we sit in the light, we might begin to feel a bit kinder, a bit nicer, more compassionate to others. So once again, as we hold the field, these qualities of spaciousness, of energy, of light, exist always as the primordial field of awareness, this backdrop that you're feeling this morning. And these qualities are awakened in us through life experience, through a relationship, be it a relationship with a human or a relationship with the divine. And these qualities are both transcendent and eminent. They exist always. And we discover them through relationships. In Dante's great literary work, The Divine Comedy, we see the double nature of reality, in which there is one single truth. Without divinity, there can be no conscious humanity. And without humanity, the divine remains an abstraction. And Dante finds himself caught in the first dilemma in the beginning of the poem. When I had journeyed half our life's way, I found myself within a shadowed forest, for I had lost the path that does not stray. Halfway through Dante's life, our life, he finds himself in a dark wood. He understands he has lost his recognition of his true self, his true life, his true experience. He has been exiled from his beloved Florence because of political difficulties. He can never return or he'll be executed. He leaves his wife and his 4 children behind. So in the mid-1290s, Dante had been very politically active in the affairs of Florence. He'd been in the thick of the political scene and his career was flourishing. The broader political scene consisted of the Gulf family, which had splintered into 2 parts, the black and the white. The blacks and whites had fought together against a common enemy, the Galibi family, and succeeded in expelling them from Florence. In 1300, however, the blacks and whites turned against each other, and a civil war ensued. It was then that Dante, a white Gulf, was exiled. The black leader, Corso, was supported by the current pope. So in his reflection, Dante discovers he has not lived a true life since he was a young man. And as a young man, he had been a poet and been in love with Beatrice. But then Beatrice had died suddenly. And after Beatrice's death, Dante had been in complete despair. For several years he writes of her and then gradually begins to resume a new life. He studies philosophy, theology, becomes engaged in politics. He marries a woman of noble stock, a politically correct marriage. He has 4 children. Unfortunately, again, he's politically on the wrong side of the Pope, so he finds himself exiled from Florence, never seeing his wife and children again. And we find him in the beginning of Dante's poem. Dante has lost his way. As the Divine Comedy progresses, Dante tries to move along the path of being. He is then confronted by encounters with different animals. The leopard, representing love of pleasure. The lion, representing fierce pride. And the wolf, representing his greed and avarice. And as he encounters the animals, he finds himself powerless to move forward. He sees a distant figure and cries out, "Have pity on me." He admits his powerlessness and his inability to find his path. The distant figure emerges as Virgil, the Latin poet, who will guide Dante through the depths of consciousness to seek complete recognition of the self. It is Virgil who, like the teacher, the guru, shows us through the way, through the darkness, into the light of self-knowledge, the light of awareness. Virgil has been sent by Beatrice to serve as Dante's guide in Dante's search for consciousness. The Commedia is ultimately about love and the movements of love or lack thereof. Love is the starting point and the end point of the Commedia as Dante journeys to the afterlife. It is love which moves Beatrice to intervene, to ask Virgil to rescue Dante in the dark wood. Love, however, is the key not just to the workings of the individual psyche, but to the very functionings of the universe. So once again, we're going to take that turn and talk a little bit about the yogic understanding. Abhinavagupta, the 10th century yogic master, says that all phenomena must be dissolved into the fire of the heart. He refers to this dissolution as a violent digestion. All things must be burned in the fire of the heart and be experienced as light. In this way, we discover the essence of ourselves and the universe. So Dante in the Commedia describes 9 circles in hell, 9 terraces on the mountain of purgatory, and 9 spheres in heaven. In hell, there are 3 divisions. The first circle is not a place of torment. It is a place called limbo. Here dwell the great pagans, the poets. They do not suffer, but they have been unable to experience bliss. In the next 4 circles, the inadequate and self-indulgent have succumbed to the leopard, the love of pleasure. Here Dante meets Francesca and Paolo. Francesca's impassioned plea to Dante is that love did this to her, that it is not her fault. She simply surrendered to love. So Francesco and Paolo's sin, it's said, is not in the formal breaking of the moral law, but in their refusal to accept responsibility for their own passions. She blames it on love. So they are rewarded in hell with a permanent identification with the other, a drifting without passion on a cold, meaningless wind. As the poets approach the circles of the violent, the 6th and 7th circles, they are confronted by the terrible Furies who threaten to uncover Gorgon's head. Virgo advises Dante not to look and covers his own eyes as well, or they will be eternally turned to stone. Dante in terror pleads with Virgo not to leave them, not to leave him. They must wait, or they will be forever doomed. And finally, an angel, a messenger, arrives from heaven and sends the Gorgon's head and Furies into flight. The 6th and 7th circles hold the violent who have identified with the bestiality of the lion. And so the poets enter the city of Dis. The violent circles can only be entered by one who has faith and humility. Dante has passed this test with the aid of Virgil and the angel from heaven. This past week we saw on the news those administering to the injured and dying despite their own danger. The realm of hell is simply not in the afterlife. Is not simply in the afterlife. And finally, in the ninth circle, the deliberate traitors and betrayers are frozen in a lake of ice, representing the denial of life and love, and symbolized by the devouring wolf. The final barrier contains Satan himself. So in the mountain of purgatory, this is the place of transformation. Dante describes the transformation to love, and also describes how love has gone bad. Each of us needing to look at our own shadow. To sum it up, each has his own desires and instinctive reactions. And as we progress through life, we can lose our ability to discriminate. For example, the enjoyment of good things can transform into greed. Spontaneous anger can transform into half-conscious cruelty, passive aggressiveness, or cold hostility. So purgatory is about learning wisdom. On earth, we might also call it sadhana, or spiritual practice. As we hold our reactions in awareness, they are dissolved into the light. Dante asks Virgil to explain love to him. Virgil responds that the initial impulse to love is to be attracted or drawn to something or someone outside ourselves. But reason must control desire. Sexual appetite uncontrolled, and the desire for money and food uncontrolled, are similar. Food, sex, money are all good things, but too much of a good thing results in lack of a discrimination. So the terraces in purgatory on the mountain, the qualities that are needed to transform are pride, envy, anger, sloth, avarice, gluttony, and lust. So Dante and Virgil meet an old friend in purgatory, Farisi. Farisi is the brother of Corso, who ousted Dante from Florence. Farisi is not really a stellar person, but not mean like his brother. And he tells Dante, at the moment of his death, he asked humbly for redemption, so he ended up in purgatory. Dante doesn't understand how Farisi was able to get up the mountain so quickly, as he's very close to the top. So Dante asked Farisi, how did you do this? And Farisi said, it didn't have to do with me. It's because of the prayers of my dear wife, Nella. Dante then asks about his sister Picardo. Farisi says that his brother Corso forced Picardo to leave the convent to marry someone who would gain Corso money and prestige. She later died and was transported directly to heaven. Dante now asks to hear about Corso. Farisi says that Corso had been in charge of Florence for 3 years, beginning in 1300, and had plundered the city. Farisi then foretold about Corso's death, which would happen in 1308. So an aside on this is all spirits in purgatory could predict the future. So Farisi says that Corso would be dragged to death by a horse that would take him straight to hell. So we see the destinies of 3 siblings, Picardo in heaven, Farisi in purgatory, and Corso in hell. Finally, in the spheres of heaven, we encounter joy, which is the grace and gaiety of the leopard. And that's related through the planets, the moon, Mercury, and Venus. And the strength of the lion, the royalty of the lion. The sun, the Mars, and Jupiter represent this. And finally, the detached love, which is called Saturn. And this is symbolized by the wolf. But the wolf is no longer hungry, as man's love has attained oneness. So once again, we turn to the violent digestion of Abhinivagupta, to the fire in the heart. The ability to metabolize experience and return to the lights within the heart. Had Francesco and Paolo entered transitional space and left their fixed position just a bit, they might have been redeemed, as was Farisi. They might have had a different outcome. It is the fixedness of experience which keeps us from the openness of knowing all that is. As Abhinivagupta says, all phenomena must be dissolved into the light. So in our journey inward, we are often confronted by the love of pleasure, pride, perfectionism, greed, anger, avarice, and many more. Many of us have learned that as we hold the field of awareness, these ego states begin to dissolve. We begin to become more aware of our reactions as reactions, and we begin to dwell in the natural state of awareness, that place of equanimity. We begin to reside in that love of ourselves and the other, which is completely natural and inspiring. And in the experience of love, we begin to discover the truth that without divinity, there can be no conscious humanity. And without humanity, the divine remains an abstraction. So once again, we'll go within. Entering again into that light within. And right now we'll extend to all our teachers. And like Virgil, they guide us on this path to consciousness. We'll extend also to all our traditions. Of which we participate. And to the great archetypes of all the different traditions. And particularly to the Divine Mother, the Anima. Who rescues Dante in the wood. And who rescues us in the wood. So as we've been cultivating awareness for some time, we'll do that practice of holding the light for people we know and love. Holding them in the light. And we'll hold the light for all these people that have been victims of violence this week. In Paris, in Syria, all these different places throughout the world. And we'll hold the light for our city as well. So we have one more chant today. And we'll start to close up right now. If you like, you can rub your hands together. And just sealing at the heart, holding the light throughout the day for yourself and for all people. And so, if you'd like to stay and meditate a while, you're welcome till 9 o'clock. We will not be having a program next week, next Friday, after Thanksgiving. We will not have a program. So, just to let you know that. And tomorrow morning, we're not having a program as well. There's no Dakini practice tomorrow. So thank you all for coming, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.